Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to do some more maintenance on the Ruby Coupe here. I love Tremec transmissions, always been a big supporter of them. Use them pretty much exclusively. And one of the issues I've noticed over the years, and you guys may have the same problem, but I've noticed over the years the tail shaft seals tend to go bad. Normally, every Tremec that I've bought, and we're talking the 3550 TKO series, has been used. So shouldn't really be a shocker there, but it seems like I don't have any problems out of the front seal under the bearing retainer. I don't have any problems with the gears, synchronizers. Well, there is an exception. One was catastrophically abused. One TKO that I bought, and I have a video on it if you search it up. But other than that, they've been kind of detrimental, the tail shaft seal. So same problem on the coupe here. It's been seeping a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and change the tail shaft seal, and I'll just kind of walk you guys through the basics of it while it's in the car. Obviously, it's a lot easier to do it out of the car, but we all know that that's not always the case. It's not feasible. So let's get to it. So we have Ruby up in the air. We're going to start pulling this drive shaft out, and as you can see, it's a nice fall day. There's a pile of leaves I have to blow. But let's get started. And now you see what I'm talking about. There's the factory tail shaft seal. You can see it seeping. So that's what we're going to replace. And back here at the diff, we'll just undo these 4 bolts that hold the drive shaft to the diff. 12mm 12 point is what you need, and you may have to rotate the wheels, use the e-brake to spin the pinion around to get to the other bolts that you missed earlier. And one thing you might want to do, or to get in the habit of doing, is anytime you remove a drive shaft, you want to mark it where it meets the flange, and that way it's clocked properly. Normally on these aftermarket aluminum drive shafts, they're balanced very, very well, so it's not really required. But if you're working on something else that's got a stock steel drive shaft or something like that, definitely mark it, and that'll help clock it. I've seen them out of balance, and when you go back together with it, if it doesn't go in the same position, it just amplifies the harmonics that much more. So I just want to throw that out there. Alright y'all, drive shaft's out. And there's a seal that's going to come out. So we're just going to take a screwdriver and pry very gently between the end of the tail shaft and the back of the seal itself, being careful not to score the bore that the seal sits in. And we're just going to pry it out and tap the new one in. Alright guys, looks like it's worked loose, and there it is. And here's the original seal, guys, you can tell. Now it has a metal shell inside the housing, you know, inside the rubber here encased. But I don't know what it is, but every Tremec I've had, every 3550 that has these seals, for some reason they go bad. These things aren't very hard to take out, as you can see. Here are the new seals. They actually come in a 2-pack, one for the bearing retainer on the front and one for the tail shaft seal in the rear. So you can tell the difference. So this one has a metal shell, a lot better construction than the stock one. And also, if you'll notice, if you do choose to use these, which I highly recommend, there's a notch in the shell right here at the bottom, depending on how you look at it. And it matches up with a weep hole that's in the dust boot, if you can see that weep hole down there. So when you tap this seal in, you want this notch on the shell to be at the 6 o'clock position, to be pointing straight downwards. And the reason for that is if the actual seal is right here on the inside. So that's what's going to ride along the yoke. If this seal fails and starts seeping oil, what it'll do is seep through that weep hole that's in the rubber boot and start dripping. So that way you know your seal will need to be replaced. What I did is put a little bit of grease on the inside lip, just a little bit, just enough to keep it you know, damp for new installation. These are the tools you're going to want to use. You know, a rubber dead blow. What I've found, this is just an old crank pulley. I think it's like a BBK underdrive, but it fits the shell perfectly. So it grabs a hold of the outer metal shell, and that's what we're going to use to tap it in. All right, new tail shaft seal is in, and let's just slide the drive shaft in and put this car back together. Well, there you have it. Not too much to it. Obviously, it's easier if you have a lift. You know, I still just use jack stands. It's all I have, floor jack and jack stands. But highly recommend getting the better seals. And there's plenty of vendors out there that will sell you these seals. But anyways, guys, just wanted to go over that with you, and we'll see you on the next one.